intersectionality fight breaking out now between two very white people, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. So they are going after each other. Last night, Elizabeth Warren tried to drop a bomb on Bernie Sanders, and this is really egregious. I mean, I cannot stand Elizabeth Warren. She is just the worst. The reason that she is just the worst is because she pretends that she is as honest and true as the day is long. The truth is that she has sold every one of the political principles she held in about 2003. She's thrown them out the window in order to run as Bernie Sanders light. And then she pretended she was Bernie Sanders' friend throughout this campaign, and the two of them laid off each other. And honestly, I think Bernie Sanders, as you will see in just a moment, is just an egregious, awful politician. He has terrible, terrible views. I think that he has backed some of the worst regimes on planet Earth. I think he currently hobnobs with some of the worst anti-Semites in Congress. I mean, he's just terrible. But compared to Elizabeth Warren, at least the man's honest. So last night, Elizabeth Warren, after spending years proclaiming falsely that she was a Native American, drops a story. She leaks this story that when she and Bernie Sanders met in December 2018, Bernie Sanders told her he didn't think that a woman could win the presidency. CNN reported this. The stakes were high when Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren met at Warren's apartment in Washington, D.C. one evening in December 2018. The longtime friends knew that they could soon be running against each other for president. The two agreed that if ultimately they faced each other as presidential candidates, they should remain civil and avoid attacking one another so as not to hurt the progressive movement. They also discussed how to best take on President Donald Trump, and Warren laid out two main reasons she believed she would be a strong candidate. She could make a robust argument about the economy, and she could earn broad support from female voters. Sanders responded that he did not believe a woman could win. No, you can't say that. You can't say that. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, so first of all, does Bernie Sanders truly believe that a woman could not win the presidency? No. Bernie Sanders has been saying for years that he thinks that a woman could certainly be president. In 1988, he said a woman could be president. It is now 2020, so it is now 32 years later, and Bernie Sanders, he had like a little more hair then, but he feels like the high school principal in Back to the Future. Did that guy ever have hair? Anyway, here's Bernie Sanders in 1988 explaining that a woman could be president.
The real issue is not whether you're black or white, whether you're a woman or a man. In my view, a woman could be elected president of the United States. The real issue is, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of workers and poor people, or are you on the side of big money and the corporations?
That is a man who has not changed one iota, except he speaks a little bit slower today. That's pretty much it. But Bernie Sanders, who was apparently an 80-year-old communist when he was 40, the idea that he's going around telling women that they can't win the presidency because he doesn't like women is silly. Now, maybe Bernie Sanders said, I think against Donald Trump, women are going to have a particular challenge. Maybe he said that. That happens to be a fairly common political analysis in the aftermath of Hillary Clinton losing the 2016 election to Donald Trump, who's about as toxic a male as it is possible to have in American politics. According to CNN, that evening in 2018, Sanders expressed frustration at what he saw as a growing focus among Democrats on identity politics, according to one of the people familiar with the conversation. Warren told Sanders she disagreed with his assessment that a woman could not win, 3 of the 4 sources said. So Bernie Sanders was on CNN, and he denied the report. He called it a ludicrous report.
It is ludicrous to believe that at the same meeting where Elizabeth Warren told me she was going to run for president, I would tell her that a woman couldn't win. It's sad that 3 weeks before the Iowa caucus and a year after that private conversation, staff who weren't in the room are lying about what happened. What I did say that night was that Donald Trump is a sexist, a racist, and a liar who would weaponize whatever he could. Do I believe a woman can win in 2020? Of course. After all, Hillary Clinton beat Donald Trump by 3 million votes in 2016.
Okay, now as we will see, Elizabeth Warren is doing I didn't leak this, but he did say that. He did. Then who leaked it? Really? You think that nobody from the Warren campaign leaked it? It was just Bernie surrogates and Warren surrogates in that meeting. Do you really think that nobody from Elizabeth Warren's team leaked this? Like the day before the debate, so that it's a debate topic? Do you really think that Elizabeth Warren isn't playing cynical politics in the last moments of the campaign? She is so gross. She really is just an awful human being, just really terrible. In just a second, we'll get to Elizabeth Warren confirming that Bernie did indeed say that a woman could not win. Oh no, he must be a brutal sexist. Oh, God, these people are so tiresome. Now, I do feel sort of like that guy from Godzilla. Let them fight. I'm going to enjoy it. At the same time, you got to feel a little bit bad for Bernie. He's just over there being a useless socialist and getting some momentum. And here comes Elizabeth Warren stomping through that front door in traditional Native American garb, suggesting that he is sexist, it's got to be a little bit rough to be a Democrat, honestly. Facts don't care about your feelings, and it's a fact that The Ben Shapiro Show is the largest conservative podcast in the nation. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all of our content.